But Ibn al-Qayyim, ikhwan, he makes mention of a statement, rahimahullah, and it is something that is important for us to reflect upon and has a great relation to this affair of Tawheed being the key to Jannah. For ikhwan, it is the key to our place of return. For indeed there is not one of us except that his goal should be to return to Jannah. Listen ikhwan to the kalam and to the statement of Ibn al-Qayyim. He mentions rahimahullah ta'ala in the beginnings of مفتاح دار السعادة أما بعد فإن الله سبحانه لما أهبط آدم أبا البشر من الجنة لما له في ذلك من الحكم التي تعجز العقول عن معرفتها والألسن عن صفتها فكان إهباطه منها عين كماله ليعود إليها على أحسن أحواله فأراد سبحانه أن يذيقه وولده من نصب الدنيا وغمومها وهمومها وأوصابها ما يعظم به عنده مقدار دخولهم إليها في الدار الآخرة. He mentions rahimahullah ta'ala that indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he caused Adam, the father of mankind, to leave Jannah and to fall upon to exit Jannah and to be established upon earth, he said in that there were hikam and there were wisdoms the likes of which the uqul or the minds are not able to perceive. And ikhwan, oftentimes you hear those who, when we're giving da'wah, they'll make mention of statements like, well, I mean, if you're saying that God and Allah, he created everything and he knows everything, he knows who's going to be in paradise, who's going to be in Jannah, who's going to be in the hellfire, then why let them go through all of this that they go through? Why not just cut to the chase and conclude all affairs? Oftentimes we hear people saying that. Or we hear them saying, why then did he remove them from Jannah only to return them back to paradise after them going through those difficulties and those hardships? Surely a loving God wouldn't do such a thing, they say. And I'm sure you're acquainted with the statements. Listen to the statement of Ibn al-Qayyim. He mentioned rahimahullah, فَكَانَ إِهْبَاطُهُ مِنْهَا عَيْنَ كَمَالِ. He said rahimahullah ta'ala, prior to that, لِمَا فِي ذَلِكَ مِنَ الْحِكَمِ الَّتِي تَعْجِزُ الْعُقُولَ عَنْ مَعْرِفَتِهَا. He said in that there were wisdoms that the intellects are not able to perceive. In that there were wisdoms that the uqul, the intellects, are not able to perceive. He mentioned وَالْأَلْسُنْ and صِفَتِهَا, and the tongues are not able to describe. He said لِمَا فِي ذَلِكَ فَكَانَ إِهْبَاطُهُ مِنْهَا عَيْنَ كَمَالِهِ. He said that in actuality, him being expelled from Jannah itself was the perfection of Adam. In it was the perfection of Adam. How is that? He mentions لِيَعُودَ إِلَيْهَا عَلَى أَحْسَنِ أَحْوَالِ, so that he may return to Jannah in the best of form. He mentioned فَأَرَادَ سُبْحَانَهُ أَنْ يَذِيقَهُ وَوَلَدَهُ مِنْ نَصَبِ الدُّنْيَا. So he wished, and Allah Azza wa Jal willed, that he should make Adam and his offsprings taste from the hardship of the dunya, from its worries and from its trials. And no doubt, ikhwan, all of us, I'm sure, will agree that the dunya is filled with trials, particularly in this time, recession, credit crunch, whatever else, difficulties and hardship. All of that from the awsab of the dunya, from the humum of the dunya. That Allah Azza wa Jal, ikhwan, from his hikam, is that Allah Azza wa Jal has caused Ibn Adam, or that willed that Ibn Adam should taste from the hardships of the dunya, and that this dunya, ikhwan, was not going to be easy. As the Messenger of Allah, he mentioned that the dunya, ikhwan, is the jannatul kafir wa sijnul mu'min, that it is the jannah for the kafir, and it is a sijn and a prison for the mu'min, prison for the believer. And ikhwan, that no doubt is something that is evident for anyone who exists and lives on planet earth. He mentioned that Allah Azza wa Jal therefore wanted the son of Adam, wanted Adam and his son to taste from its hardships and from its trials and from its tribulations ما يعظم به عنده مقدار دخولهم إليها في الدار الآخرة, the likes of which will make tremendous for him and will make enormous the affair of returning back to Jannah. That it is by way of them leaving Jannah and existing in the dunya, tasting from its hardships, tasting from its trials and tribulations, that they would truly appreciate their return to Jannah. Just as, ikhwan, if you were to leave a place that you love, whether it be your abode, or whether it be, ikhwan, a country that you have love for, if you've lived, for example, in your homeland, or if this is your homeland and you go elsewhere where people are less fortunate than we are, you will realize and appreciate the ni'am of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon you for allowing you to exist where you exist. And you will desire to return back to that place in order to return back to those blessings that you were being negligent of, or that you weren't really realizing until you left where you were and experienced something that was lesser. So he mentioned that which will make great returning back to Jannah in the hereafter. He mentioned فَإِنَّ الضِّدَّ يُظْهِرُ حُسْنَهُ الضِّدِّ وَلَوْ تَرَبُّوا فِي الدَّارِ النَّعِيمِ لَمْ يَعْرِفُوا قَدْرَهَا. He said because the opposites make clear their opposites, and if they were nurtured in the Dar al-Na'im, if they were nurtured in Jannah, then no doubt they would not recognize its status and its virtue and its station. And then he goes on to mention a number of different benefits and a number of different fawaid and a number of different points related to that. He said that likewise Allah Azza wa Jal wanted to command him and wanted to try him and prohibit him and test him. وَلَيْسَتِ الْجَنَّةُ دَارُ التَّكْلِيفِ. He said, and Jannah is not the place of trial and test. Jannah is the place of bliss and the place of reward and the place of ni'am. And so, ikhwan, that trying and that testing could not have taken place in Jannah. He mentioned فَأَحْبَطَهُمْ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ وَعَوَّضَهُمْ بِذَلِكَ أَفْضَلَ الثَّوَابِ الَّذِي لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُنَالَ بِدُونِ الْأَمْرِ وَالنَّهِي. And so he caused him to enter or to land upon the dunya in order to try and test him, command him and prohibit him from affairs in order to test him. And likewise because of the fact that Jannah is not the place, ikhwan, that one receives, afwan, the dunya is not the place that one receives the reward of Allah that is in Jannah, and neither is Jannah the place that one is tested in. He mentioned likewise فَإِنَّهُ سُبْحَانَهُ أَرَادَ أَن يَتَّخِذَ مِنْهُمْ أَنْبِيَاءَ وَرُسُلًا وَأَوْلِيَاءَ وَالشُّهَدَاءَ يُحِبُّهُمْ وَيُحِبُّونَ فَخَلَّى بَيْنَهُمْ وَبَيْنَ أَعْدَائِهِ. He mentioned that Allah likewise wanted to take from them prophets and make some of them messengers and make some of them his awliya, his allies, and make some of them martyrs, those individuals who he loves and they love him, and in order to make a difference between his enemies and the beloved, the ones who he loves, in order to test them, ikhwan, and likewise to bestow upon them his good pleasure. And likewise he mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has names and beautiful names and attributes, and from his names is Al-Ghafur, Al-Rahim, Al-Afu, Al-Halim, Al-Khafid, Al-Rafi', Al-Mu'izz, Al-Mudhil, Al-Muhyi, Al-Mumit, Al-Warith, Al-Sabur. ولا بد من ظهور آثار هذه الأسماء. الله أكبر. He mentioned that indeed from his names and his attributes is that Allah is Al-Ghafur, the mercy giver or the forgiving, Al-Rahim, the mercy giver, Al-Afu, the one who pardons, Al-Halim, the one who is clement, Al-Khafid, the one who causes or lowers individuals, Al-Rafi', the one who raises individuals, Al-Mu'izz, the one who gives izzah and might to individuals, Al-Mudhil, the one who humiliates individuals, Al-Muhyi, the one who gives life, the one who takes life, the one who causes or the one who يعني causes individuals to inherit that which he pleases, and so it is a must that these names and attributes have an effect, and that, ikhwan, would not have taken place except that Adam and his offsprings enter and come and fall upon the dunya and be tried upon the dunya and be tested, fall into sin, so that those names and those attributes that Allah Azza wa Jal has always possessed, so that they would manifest, ikhwan, and the effect of them would manifest.